Before we charge into battle with my top 5 most wanted G.I. Joe classified list, I'd like to start strong by giving you my honorable mention. It's the living legend, Sergeant Slaughter. The man, the myth, the mustache. He's already got a modern release, but I want to see version 1 in all its glory. The tank top, the whistle, the G.I. Joe logo emblazoned across both legs. But for now, let's move on from the best of the best to the best that hasn't been released yet. All right, troops, starting off at number 5, we've got the quarterback of Carnage, Captain Gridiron. Now, I know what you're thinking. Really? Football guy? Yes, absolutely yes. This figure is pure 90s absurdity, and that's exactly why I love it. First off, we keep the color scheme. Honey mustard, lime camo, and just a touch of Tetris. But let's lean into the football theme even more. Give him a more modernized uniform, maybe with some tactical padding. And his helmet? A realistic football helmet infused with some military-grade gear. Now his weapon? What even is this thing? Is it a rocket launcher? A futuristic rifle? Is he just carrying ammo for bazooka? Who knows? But I say we simplify. Make it a grenade launcher. After all, he's got literal football grenades. Let's make that the star of his arsenal. Embrace the ridiculousness. Captain Gridiron is already way over the top, but the Classified line series could take him all the way to being the MVP of the shelf. Next up, the Master of Mind Games. Psych out. This guy doesn't fight with firepower. He fights with fear. A psychological warfare expert before that was even a thing. But let's be real. Those arm-mounted traffic cones gotta go. I love the idea behind them, but in the 21st century, he needs actual radars. Maybe miniaturized with a high-tech edge. His back gear? Let's connect it to his front plate, making it a complete system. And give him a fold-down computer, just like Grunt. We're dealing with a tech genius here, not a guy who irons his shirts with a radar dish. And speaking of that dish, Classified series needs to turn it into a weapon. Maybe a directed energy device or a sonic disruptor. Something that makes him feel dangerous. Keep the wild colors, keep the unsettling grin. Just give him the tools to back it up. If you're fighting Cobra in sub-zero temperatures, you need a specialist. And Blizzard, he's the guy. A cold weather warrior who comes fully equipped for the job. His accessories are legendary. The Classified version needs to take that sled backpack and make it even better, modular, where all his gears can attach seamlessly. And let's finally give the man ski poles. He's a beast, but even the best need a little support. Now, that helmet, it's iconic, but a bit bulky. Imagine splitting it into 2 parts. A sleek goggle system on the bottom, and a fur-lined top hat to keep his noggin warm. Now that would be perfect. Blizzard is the ultimate winter warrior, but the Classified line can take him from great to legendary. Wow, it's getting hot in here, but that's because at number 2, we have the fire starter himself, Charbroil. First off, let's not mess with perfection. He already looks like a human hot dog, and I love it. That brown, yellow, and red combo is so bad, it's amazing. But his accessories? They need help. His current setup is just too rigid. It locks him into just one pose. And his helmet? It's got evil Sonic the Hedgehog energy. and I want it to stay that way. But the chest piece? It's metallic silver. For a flamethrower expert? Why? Give him fireproof padding and make it make sense. His flamethrower is terrifying. We might just want to keep that the way it is. And Charbroil is out there in the middle of a battlefield carrying a tank full of jellied gasoline on his back. When you sign up for the Joes and ask, "Hey, what jobs do you have with open flames?" you know you're built different. Flamethrowers and action figures always look cool, and I think Charbroil really has the opportunity to turn up the heat in the classified line. And finally, at number 1, we have the deep sea demolitions expert, Deep 6. Specifically, version 2. Don't want any of that bulky version 1 stuff around here. This is the look. Aquamarine and orange, that Miami Dolphins color scheme. It's unique, it's striking, and it needs to stay. But what really makes this figure? That deep sea diver helmet. Let's modernize it, but keep the spirit of the original. Maybe make his face visible through the visor. And then there's this thing. What even is it? The little gray accessory that connects to his air tanks. If it's an oxygen supply, it doesn't really make sense. He needs to go way down there, and this little tube isn't cutting it. Let's reimagine it as a deployable tool. Maybe a ballast to help him sink faster, or an emergency device to bring him back to the surface. Make it clear, make it functional. With the right mix of modern detail and classic design, I think Deep 6 could truly be one of the most unique figures ever brought to the classified line. What Joes do you need to see in the classified line? Be sure to check out my top 5 Cobra list right here. You won't want to miss it.